Hello, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch world. We have Aurin with us today for our Music Monday chat. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Woohoo! Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming on. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing good. We're surviving just like everybody else is out there.
Surviving.
Nice. Oh boy, and you guys are tuning in from New Jersey, which is right across a pond from us.
Yeah, about 20 miles and 6 hours of driving.
Right.
Yeah. For that traffic, right?
Mm-hmm. So close yet so far.
You're trying. I love you, darling.
Yeah, we're trying to share it.
Oh, they have the hold on.
Nice.
I'm like blind from that stupid backlight.
Oh, we'll say hello to
not
everyone.
you guys. Ours.
Hello to Matt and Steve in the chat, and Roxy. Hey, you have a banana there. Anyone in the chat that wants to ask any questions about, anything, go for it. And what do you guys got going on? What you been up to?
So right now I know, right? It's like pretty much this. So we're writing stuff and like getting back into practice. We did stop for a little while because of COVID and all that fun stuff. Our bassist actually had shoulder surgery not that long ago too.
And we had COVID.
Yes, and we did have COVID, unfortunately, but luckily we're getting better and we're like getting back into the swing of things. So
well, that's good.
Fun. How about you guys?
Mel got surgery.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? What happened?
Everything all right?
Yeah, I had foot surgery and a few more surgeries coming up. Figured now's a good time to get it all over with.
Yeah, now is like the perfect time to do it because
by the time quarantine's over, I'll just have all new parts, be like a robot.
Yeah. So we can't do anything else, so we might as well start slowly replacing it.
Yeah, might as well just swap it out.
Yeah. It would be great, like if you could just replace your body parts on Amazon. Just
that'd be easier.
It's coming.
It'd be a lot less painful.
Yeah, can I Amazon Prime a new foot and a hand, please?
Yeah. That'd be a lot quicker.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that was the same idea.
They deliver everything in like 2 days. So
we were actually going to shoot a video, and then we realized that Lisa would be out with the rotator cuff for like over 3 months, so we haven't actually seen each other. We saw each other the first time last Sunday since November because she just basically couldn't move for the past 3+ months, and it really kind of put a hold on things. But we're back now, and we're gonna do what we can.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's a lot of people's situations right now.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about Zoom. You only need to see like certain body parts.
Yeah, Mel might not even have a bottom half right now. We don't know.
It's true.
You're like a scarecrow. We just keep shoving things in.
Yeah.
Or you do what I do when I'm at work and just tape over the camera. That way they can't see anything.
Yeah.
I prefer it that way, to be honest.
There you go, just like that.
Yep, exactly.
If you're using Zoom, and now with Zoom, you could actually, I think you could put like you could just take a photo of you like this or a video, and then just replay it so that they think that you are in the meetings.
And you just keep nodding your head.
Like,
See, if I worked and I had meetings through Zoom, I would definitely do that.
You have to make sure you have like an endless loop.
I hope my bosses aren't like watching.
It's a 10-hour loop.
Yeah.
That would be great.
And then randomly just freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I froze. So weird.
Should do it a few different times so nobody catches on.
Yeah.
Oh, Mel froze now.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Good. Did you think it was real?
I thought it was real for a second.
I'm getting good at the fake freezing.
The fake freezing. Yeah, what other kind of Zoom skills have you guys learned over the past year?
My quarantine talents I've learned.
Yeah, right.
I've learned how to stay completely still.
You have to not blink. It's tough.
I've learned to like eat and gain weight, pretty much.
I don't think
Yeah,
that's
I think we've all been getting good at that.
No, it doesn't. But
what's been your favorite snack?
Everything.
Oh man, I don't know. So many things. We had these homemade potato chips recently, and we got like 3 bags of them, and just like completely devoured them.
There's this French patisserie that we go to way too often.
Oh.
And
yeah.
I can never remember the town. Is it Westwood?
It's Westwood.
Yeah.
Yep. It's called Ciel, C-I-E-L, and they have the best desserts. Like if we're bored one night, we'll just like drive over there and grab some pastries and stuff.
Nothing like having 2,000 calories for desserts, but it's delicious, you know.
Yeah.
But it's those French, you know, style, like little like fancy looking patisseries with the mirror glaze and everything over them. So,
it's like a French Korean fusion type of patisserie.
Ooh.
And yeah, her recipes are very interesting.
And they also do dessert,
like
courses, like a 3-course or a 5-course meal you can set up with them. And they basically just make whatever they want and serve you whatever desserts they want. Mm-hmm. So you just eat a bunch of desserts in a row over like a bottle of wine or something. It's amazing.
Mm.
Yeah, they did like all that before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Actually, we went there for your birthday.
Yeah.
So,
my birthday, the pandemic was announced on my birthday.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Happy birthday. Here's the pandemic.
And then a few days later, everything closed down.
Yeah. Did you guys have a bunch of shows and stuff booked, or were you planning on recording?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Yeah, we did have some stuff booked. Actually, we had like some Weekend Warriors type stuff.
A couple small
and then
tours.
We had like a festival booked last year, and like little by little things just started getting canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And
we even had some holdouts in, what was it? Was it October, November, or something like that? And right like a week before, it was just like, this, you can't do it. There's no way to do it. So, but we had this whole tour book, and you know, within the past few weeks before it ended, it was sometime in November, I think. And we just saw the dates start canceling, and there were like 2 holdouts, and it was in like Ohio and upstate New York, I think, at that point. Or no, Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. And at that point, you know, we couldn't actually get off because of the travel restrictions. And the other one, it was just like, well, it's, you know, at this point, it's probably not safe to drive 10 hours to go play a show.
Yeah.
So, you know, cut our losses, and, you know, hopefully we can get back once things are normal-ish again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you guys?
Yeah, we had the same deal, and I was just thinking of when you guys were talking about that. We had one show booked that the place just kept changing the event date, but not telling any of the bands. They just kept postponing it.
Oh, wow.
And we're like, I guess
they didn't tell anybody?
No, they just kept like delaying it, which is like, obviously that's what's going to happen, but they weren't telling any of the bands. The venue just kept updating random dates.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
And then they just got rid of it. So we're like, all right, I guess
was it at least a nearby show, or something you had to travel for?
It was, and we all knew it wasn't happening anyway, but it was just funny. I'm like, oh, well, guess this one's changed to this date, guys.
Yeah.
Well,
surprise, we have a show, cancel your plans.
Mm-hmm.
Not that anybody had plans in the past year, but you know.
There was a question in the chat, who's in Paris. I just wanted to let them know Ratatouille is cooking up a meal there.
That what?
Wait, let's grab the phone.
All I heard was Paris and Ratatouille.
Chad from Paris.
They want to know who's in Paris because I have a globe next to me. So Ratatouille.
We were supposed to be in Paris.
Were you?
May of last year, we had a whole vacation scheduled, and that fell through.
Oh yeah, that was gonna happen in May, and like in March when the pandemic was announced, Andrew's like, "Oh, we'll be fine. We'll still be able to go." I'm like, "Nope."
Nope.
Yeah, now it looks like it, couldn't do it again this year. So we're hoping next year.
Maybe next year. We'll see. You know, when things are safe, that's the most important thing. Is we just all have to stay safe and be responsible right now.
I did get to go there for like a day, I think. Obviously not last year. I keep saying last year, but last year didn't exist, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So you think of the prior year.
Yeah, whatever the last year was that we were allowed to do things. I was there during like the major heat wave that they had, so it was like 112 degrees.
Oh my god!
I walked 18 miles to like go to the Eiffel Tower and see like a few of the museums and stuff like that. And then I went to order like a veggie salad, and like it said it in English on the menu, right? And I pointed to it and everything, and then they sent me like a meat tray.
Stop! That's crazy.
And the guy was like, "I'm so sorry, I didn't know." I was like, oh. But it was fun. It was really cool there. The architecture is just amazing.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
How come you were there for such a short time?
It was for work, but so I only had like one day off, so I was like, I gotta walk everywhere on this one day, But yeah, it was literally the hottest day. They're like, "Oh, we're breaking records." I'm like, "Of course it is. The one day I'm here."
You didn't take any cabs and buses,
right?
I took one Uber to get from like where the hotel was to like the downtown area, but the traffic was so bad. I was like, I'm just gonna get out, so I just left the Uber close enough.
You probably walked like
and just
faster.
It was easier to walk, and yeah, it was cool though. So
what was your favorite thing though? Like when you were there, what was your favorite thing to experience?
I liked the architecture is amazing. I got to see the I'm gonna say it, or the Notre Dame after it was on fire. So it was boarded up, but you could still see it, but you just don't think how huge it is. Like it takes up like an entire block, and you're like, oh, I just thought it was like, the size of like in like New York City, like one of the cathedrals there or something, and it was just massive. So when they were like, it burned down, it's like, no, there's just like a tiny portion really was on fire, which is insane. But it was cool.
Yeah. I'm sure they're going to be reconstructing that for a while.
Well, they lost all of last year.
Maybe that's what they've been doing.
Yeah.
I know they've been doing that in the city with all the, subway constructions and all that fun stuff. I'm like, can't they fill all the potholes now?
Yeah. Is it me, or are there more potholes slowly forming? I feel like I'm running over like a million potholes every day.
Yeah, every time there's like snow and ice.
Yeah,
I do. I get flat tires all the time.
What did you guys hear about the guys? Like, it was in the news. There was this guy who came up with a genius idea of how to get potholes filled quickly.
I think I did, but you say it.
So he went out with a bottle of spray paint, and he spray painted white penises all over every pothole. So the town was like, "Oh, we got to quickly fill those in and cover it up."
That's brilliant.
So
why didn't we think of that?
Just draw really,
inappropriate
things, whether it's that or something else, or just curse words over it, whatever. And they'll hurry up and fill them.
All right, everybody. You got to get out and do this.
Yes. If you're looking for something, fun to do.
Drive around with kind of spray paint.
Outdoors, just, look both ways. And
don't get arrested.
Yeah.
We take zero responsibility. It's all on you.
Yeah, we didn't tell you to do it. We were just talking about
an
article that happened.
And Sarah telling you to do it before really was not her telling you to do it.
The one holding the spray paint is the one responsible, not the one telling you to do it.
Yes.
Keep that in mind, folks.
So, did you guys do any new activities during the quarantine? Find any new hobbies? What's do anything weird?
We've been playing around. Andrew started like building like a little home studio, and we've been playing around with that. And
Nice.
you know, hopefully we'll like be able to actually use it soon and start recording things at home.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Whose drum heads do you have hanging up there?
Oh, one is APC, one Spine Shank. You have an APC shirt on anyway?
Yes, I do.
Awesome.
Yeah. We also tried baking too. That was.
Did you make bread?
Cakes.
No, we made
The fat version of bread.
Yeah, we made some really fattening cakes. What do we made like a southern lemon buttercream frosting cake. And I swear, like, it was the sweetest thing I've ever had in my life. I thought, like, I was gonna need insulin after eating that.
Strawberry white chocolate cake I made was pretty good.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, we were just baking random things, cookies, cakes for a while.
Yeah.
As I was spending needless amounts of money on home studio and recording gear.
Nice. Oh, so this is a really funny thing on Twitch, but it says, Mel, there's a snake behind you. And to blink twice if you need help. There might be one behind you in the forest that you're in. It is not a green screen.
I love that background. It's really cool.
What's that?
I love Mel's background. It's so cool.
It's the jungle.
That's what she spent her quarantine doing.
Welcome to the jungle.
Oh, I didn't even see that until now.
Yeah, we're like, we can't see anything on the screen over there, but I have Andrew's phone like open over here and we're just looking.
I know, the joys of technology. So did you guys do any live streams, things like that? I think you were on something with the guys from maybe Rebel 9 and Craving Strange, right?
Yeah.
A while ago?
We did do a live stream with them, but
only to find out that the audio wasn't working. Or
it was actually really funny. Like it kept getting clipped and like kept cutting out. There was like some weird setting that we didn't take off during that live stream. So like whenever it got really loud, like it would just completely mute. And we've done a couple of live streams with our booking agency, Blind Anxiety Entertainment. So
just acoustic stuff,
just
nothing
like a couple
full band or
low-key acoustic things.
I mean, we've been, like I said, because of Lisa's surgery, we've been apart since November, and then we were starting to get ready for the things we had planned, you know, the year before, but weren't really even thinking of live streams at that point. Just getting ready to do the festival and tours we had coming up, and then everything fell to shit.
Yeah.
So.
We saw the live stream that you guys did. I think it was Thanksgiving, right? It was like the day before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
With Rebel 9. Yeah. That was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was cool.
We were like watching that while we're cooking and it's like
were we baking something?
Us up. Maybe.
I think we were baking something.
Cooking or baking. One of those things.
Nice.
It's basically just another excuse to yell at each other, that's all.
Roxy, it appears you left your smell vision on.
I don't know.
They said in the chat you need some deodorant. You're a little stanky.
I actually did put deodorant on for, like when sometimes you're like, oh, I have to put deodorant on.
I did too. Not even lying, I did.
I think one day
it's like, oh yeah, they can't smell me.
That's going to be a thing one
day. Yeah,
Thanks,
exactly. We're like, oh, maybe we should shower, but nobody can smell us.
Am I the only idiot that showered?
The joys of virtual things.
Yeah.
You don't know if anyone smells.
You never know.
But then once you're married, hygiene doesn't mean anything anymore.
It's oh man.
We both, I think in this pandemic, we both said to each other, when was the last time we showered or went anywhere or got up off the couch?
Oh my God, when we had COVID, I didn't shower for, I'm not even kidding, I didn't shower for like 2 weeks.
We were both really sick for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I had a fever for the first 2 weeks and I just slept. I don't even know what happened. Like it was just, I'd wake up for 2 minutes I don't know, maybe like drink some water or Gatorade and go back to sleep.
I just know we went through all of Netflix, all of Amazon Prime. We ended up buying Apple Plus. I think we bought BritBox. It's just you ran out of things to watch. It's like, all right, I'll purchase a subscription to something else. We're dying anyway. Or at least it felt like it for a while.
Do you want anything good? Yeah.
What's that?
It's really all a blur.
You guys are feeling better. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes no sense that, some people get it. Doesn't matter what age, they're on a vent, they pass away. It seems to run in families from what we've seen from the people we've known and lost.
Yeah.
And, people like my cousin gets it for a day I think he was sick for like 3 days and then he was fine. Then people are asymptomatic. And then there's people like us who had completely different symptoms, but were still sick as a dog for like 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I was having the breathing problems, and there was a couple times I, was freaking out because my oxygen was like right around like 91. And, my doctor's telling me if it hits 90 to go to the hospital. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking die. I don't know what's going on. She had to console me, even though she was like half out of it. Probably didn't know what was going on. She had like 103 fever for 2 weeks. And to think that that's considered mild.
It's crazy. Like what we had was definitely a mild case because some people wind up in the hospital and on ventilators or like with these debilitating symptoms that they don't know if it's going to be permanent or not, which is it's just fucking scary. Oh, excuse my language. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary.
And you're a singer, so I'm sure it's not hopefully you don't have anything lingering on, which I've heard some singers having, residual effects that are not good for singing vocals. So I sure hope it's
You've been better with that. Luckily she has asthma and I was freaking out about her breathing the entire time, meanwhile I was the one coughing up a lung and like, trying to breathe. And it just made no sense whatsoever.
It's weird. Like you got more of the respiratory symptoms, and I just had like more of like the fever, and like a sheet felt so heavy. Like I lifted up a sheet, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like 100 pounds of weights. Like just like the weakness and the fever and stuff.
And like you said, to this day, residual wise, I'm still not back. Like I still can't walk up the stairs without being out of breath. Or talk for too long, It's a strange illness.
Yeah, it's so weird, like how it affects everybody differently.
And how long ago did you guys have it?
Day after Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then it
what
was
a nice Christmas gift, right?
I know, right?
Yeah.
So
Christmas.
Through New Year's into about mid-January.
Yeah. I mean, luckily we didn't like see anybody, like our friends or family in like close contact. So luckily we didn't like give anything to them, which was good.
Yeah, now you're like 4 months into it, and man, well, I hope you guys
both got vaccinated too. I wasn't even taking any chances.
Yeah,
that's good.
I know it's stricter and it's harder to get in New York, I hear.
Yeah, I've been refreshing the page on repeat, and it keeps telling me to go to like Oneonta.
Really? Oh my god!
It's like 300 miles away.
Yeah.
And they're about to open it up even more, and I'm like, how? But you can't even get an appointment now with the levels that you're.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's crazy. I hear now, like if you're checking on CVS. Because CVS has vaccines now. If you refresh the CVS page around midnight, like appointments are starting to open up. Well, some people.
Now we just told everyone the secrets. No.
Yeah, I know, right?
But basically, we did what you were doing.
Wait,
I had like 7 different pages of hospitals in New Jersey that were offering it open. Like their online scheduling that all said they were full, and I would just sit there like an idiot all day, just refresh, and just happened to hit one randomly, and we lucked out. But
it's a shame because like I work in healthcare, and like right when I was eligible to get the vaccine, we got COVID. Like, oh shit. So then like, I couldn't get it like through my job or through like Valley Hospital or anything. Like we had to actually go find somewhere else to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like perfect timing.
So, aside from all the Netflix and Hulu and everything else binging, and baking cakes, what other skills and hobbies have you acquired during quarantine?
Not much else, just working.
What was the favorite cake that you baked? Anything come out good, or they all ended up in the trash?
No, that white chocolate strawberry one that I made was pretty good.
Yeah.
There's some cookies we made that were good, but honestly, everything is just a blur. I couldn't tell you when that happened. I just know it happened sometime last year. Yeah. I couldn't give you a month. I couldn't give you. I mean, we're basically
there were months last year.
No.
I know, it was just one big.
I mean, like I travel for work or I work from home depending on just what's needed, and it got to a point where the days blurred together, the months blurred together, especially during the height of it in March, April, May. There were times where I had to travel, but it was mostly just sitting at home, and at that it wasn't really busy at all because I work in telecom. And nobody knew what to do then. And I couldn't tell if it was day or night. She would come home and from work, and that would be the only way I knew that, what time of day it is. Or it's bad. And then I was just desperate to like leave, and I just couldn't go anywhere. It was like my own like quarantine hell.
It's like it's literally Groundhog Day.
Yeah, every day was exactly the same.
Yeah. We tried going. Actually, we went to the beach a few times.
A couple times, yeah.
Even that.
Well, we always went like early before anybody came, and then as soon as people started,
we would go at like 9 or like 8 or 9 in the morning, and then when people started to come on the beach, we're like, okay, we're leaving.
Now, was it the real beach or the virtual beach?
No, the real beach.
No. There's a virtual beach.
I didn't know real things existed anymore.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it may have been virtual for all the hell I know.
Did you touch it, or it was just like there?
I think there was sand, but I'm not 100% sure.
It might have just been the carpet.
Brought a bucket of sand home with you just so you could.
Oh man!
Did you have any good series or anything that you liked?
The Queen's Gambit. Have you guys watched that?
Yes, that was good.
I watched it in a night. Like,
yeah, it's so one of those shows that you can really watch in a night.
Yeah,
like.
Yeah, you fall asleep during everything, and we still finish that in a couple nights.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I'm really, really interested in it, like I'll force myself to. Oh, most of the time I'll try to force myself to stay awake.
She's one of those people who will sit down to watch a movie, and she's like, "I'm awake," and I'm like, "You're about to fall asleep, aren't you?" She said, "No, I'm fine." And then 5 minutes later, she's sleeping.
I feel like that's Mel, right? Sometimes. I mean, she'll drink a cup of coffee and then pass out immediately. So,
big, huge one.
Oh man.
Have you done any?
Isn't that crazy?
The only time I can stay awake is when I'm driving. But that's it. It's like,
well, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, when we're on tour, it's like some people can just like be in the car, in the van, just like chilling. No, I'm either driving or sleeping. It's one or the other.
Roxy's still in the van. She's been there since.
Still in the van.
She's been there since last year.
Just hoping you're going to take off one of these days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
we can't find the key, and it's been, it was a leap year thing, right?
The space-time continuum got skewed. We gotta like, anyone have a banana peel and a soda can so we can like fix the flux capacitor and stuff?
Did you when was your last show?
Oh
It
shit.
was in Brooklyn,
sorry.
February, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was February of. Wait.
Yeah,
That was
February
2020, right?
That was our last show.
It was like
Yeah.
towards the end of February 2020. And I think it was around the time like we started hearing about coronavirus, and it was in like Washington State, and it was like when it just started like coming to the US. And
I remember you were freaking out that night.
I was freaking out for like 3 weeks before they announced it was a pandemic. But
I feel like I was like, I feel like I had no idea up until like maybe
Everything was
March.
shut down.
Yeah, everything like really, I don't know, maybe like a week before, like a week or two.
You're like, wait, what?
You're like hear whispers of it, but really when I heard that like South by Southwest got canceled, I'm like, oh, this is a thing.
Yeah.
Because that's like the big news that you see. You're like, okay, if that got canceled, like something's going on,
Yeah, it's like you don't remember like big events like that getting canceled.
When was your last show?
It was on the leap day, February 29th.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't too far ahead of when we played our last one.
It was what?
It wasn't that too far ahead of when we played our last show either.
I was going to say,
I don't feel as bad,
Yeah, we were it was at the Millennium Music Conference. I feel like, I thought you guys were there.
Awesome.
Or have you guys done that one?
No, we haven't done Millennium.
Yeah, I think we wanted to go one year, and I don't know what happened.
Something else.
Yeah.
I feel like we literally played us into the alternate dimension. Like we played on a leap day, and it just
it's our fault.
It's all your fault.
Yeah, and Mercury was in retrograde.
Yeah, things just didn't line up, or they lined up perfectly, and then
it happened like way too many times last year too. It was like a lot, more than normal. So, yeah, we're in an alternate universe.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it, right?
Actually, if it went back to normal tomorrow, I'd feel like that's the alternate universe.
Yeah, it's like you're so used to things not being normal now that like that's the new normal.
Yeah, the new normal's not normal.
Normal's boring.
Yeah.
That's my life motto.
So is this though. So I mean. I'd rather take the other normal. At least then I could go take a walk and not worry about it.
I can only march in place.
You have to walk around in circles in your...
you watch the virtual beach on your TV.
That's what I'm like at work. I take a phone call. I just walk I just walk. I pace around the apartment.
Well, it's like... you're getting exercise though. Getting my steps in.
I know. I haven't been able to get my steps in since we went to NAMM.
Oh man, I've always wanted to go to NAMM.
Damn. That's where COVID started.
Well, I guess we went to the last NAMM.
We did. So was that in 2019 or?
No, we went in January 2020.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which usually you would come home with NAMM Thrax, they call it, but
now we know the real thing.
Yeah.
So, do you go every year?
We went what, 3?
Yeah, last year was the 3rd time.
Nice.
Yeah. So hopefully it'll happen again next time. We'll see.
You gotta, and then we gotta touch it. Like you gotta touch everything and play all the guitar. I don't know how they're gonna do.
Everyone's got to wear gloves.
I don't think that'll do anything.
Get the Lysol in between each person.
Yeah, like
how to ruin all the new instruments. Spray them with Lysol 2,500 times a day.
How come these guitars have no finish left on them?
They've been Lysoled away. I still can't find Lysol spray.
I know. How crazy is that? It's like it's over a year later and there's still no
Lots of
Lysol
wipes,
anywhere.
but no spray.
Yeah, like we see like the nice wipes on the shelf for like brands that you've never heard of before.
Mm-hmm.
And now everyone's got a stockpile of them.
Yep.
Toilet paper and Lysol. It's gonna take you 6 years to get through it.
Did you guys do good on your toilet paper stash?
We're good for
fine,
now. Yeah.
You're good.
We're good for now.
Yeah, I passed by someone the other driving around. Someone had their garage open and they had like tons of
Oh my
toilet
God.
paper towels all in their garage. I'm like, oh, that's where all that went.
We were lucky. We never
That's
really
crazy.
binged, but every time we needed it or somebody like family needed it, we were always able to find it. So we kind of lucked out there.
Well, we did have to
There was
drive around.
Yeah, there were a couple
a
times we
little
went to
while.
stores
We're
like
like,
most people, and all
well,
these the shelves were bare, but we had more luck than most, I think.
Nice.
Luckily.
Well, the thing is, my parents also live in Central Jersey. So, and a lot of the times, like, we would go, like, they're disabled, so we would go food shopping or bring them stuff. And a lot of the stores in Central Jersey seem to, like, have a lot of things. So, like, when we would go food shopping for them and, like, grab them toilet paper, we would find toilet paper or paper towels or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, they lived in, like, a good area for this to happen, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
So why don't you guys talk about like what kind of albums you have out? Like what's the newest thing you guys put out? Do you have any singles? Like what do you got? What you got?
Yeah, so our last album was called Serotonin, and we put that out like towards the end of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And that's available. We do have CDs on our website, aurinband.com, or you can check it out on iTunes, Spotify, basically anywhere where you can find music, Amazon.
Awesome.
We do hope to work on a new single. I mean, unfortunately,
we're
having
working on
COVID
some music.
and Lisa's surgery kind of put, some padding in the schedule that we had to, get things done and written and recorded and mixed, et cetera, and released. But we hope that this summer we'll have something new.
Something new.
Even if it's just a song, just something.
Yeah, we're working on stuff.
Yeah.
Our last single was called Brother. Actually, Andrew wrote this song, and he dedicated to the song basically to one of his best friends who had committed suicide, and his friend Eli was like basically like a brother to him. Like he lived with him, and they grew up together, like did everything together
as a child.
And yeah, that was the last single that we released like towards the end of 2019, and we put out a pretty cool music video for it, and it's dedicated to anyone who's ever lost a loved one to suicide. So it was a little intense, like shooting the video and the process and everything. But.
Nice. That's really cool.
And is that's up on YouTube, or where can I find it?
Yeah, it's up on. I mean, the song itself is on Spotify and every other digital provider, but the video is up on YouTube. I think it's also on Facebook too.
Yeah, it's on our Facebook and YouTube page.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you find that throughout the whole pandemic that you've been more creative because you've had like time to really think about stuff, or do you find you're just kind of stuck in a rut? I feel like everyone's in a different mindset, and some people are getting like creative and doing a million projects and this and that, and everyone. Then you have the other side where it's just shut down. What have you guys?
I would say for a while I had a fire lit under my ass, and then between everything starting to get canceled, this probably was back in the summer. of last year, and then everything kind of started to get canceled, and we realized that Lisa was having that issue with her arm and having to cancel practices and everything else that happened. That kind of just killed a lot of things. And then basically until we started getting back together last week, it was kind of that rut, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like I was, basically just once everything kind of came to a screeching halt, after the summer, towards the end of the summer last year again, it was just, I'm out. I kind of just checked out of everything of life.
Yeah.
I feel like my depression definitely got worse during the pandemic, especially when things started. I mean, I have depression, I have anxiety, and I know I was staying up till like 5 a.m. watching CNN every night. I know it's not a healthy thing to do. And I know I had just gotten furloughed from my job for like a month and a half, and I was just watching CNN every night, like just so scared that oh, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna get COVID, or the economy's gonna collapse. Just all these like racing thoughts in my head every night, and between that and just being depressed all the time, I feel like it kind of killed my motivation to do anything productive for a little while. And also I had lost one of my previous bosses, who was actually very close to me. He had passed away from COVID. And that just even put more of a damper on things. I don't know, it was just, it wasn't a good time at all, and didn't really get much of anything done, to be honest.
Yeah, there's definitely ups and downs for everyone. So you just gotta do whatever's good for you at the moment. Sometimes, like you said, you got a fire under your ass, and sometimes
you just need a break.
Don't want to do it, So
I think one of the silver linings of this whole thing is people are actually talking about, mental health now, and not dismissing it and saying it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to just feel down, feel anxious, feel depressed, and overwhelmed. And
if there's one good thing that could possibly come out of it, that's one of them.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people are dealing with mental health issues right now. Even people that didn't have them before.
Yeah.
Because now you have to sit down and actually deal with things.
Yeah, you have to sit down and be comfortable with yourself. And most people realize that they're not.
Yeah. So. No, it's so true. When you're always running around and it's go, 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 and you're running from one thing to the next, you don't have that time to actually sit and think or overthink about stuff, about life,
True.
You just kind of keep jumping to the next thing and ignoring it. And then when you actually have time to sit there and sit with your thoughts, that's, it hits.
It's like when everything comes to get you.
Yeah. It's when the demons come out. That's when you throw on those cartoons. That's when the Disney Plus subscription comes in.
That's when that comes in handy, right?
That's when
that has all the Marvel
movies.
That's when you throw on the Goofy movie and you sit there and giggle at yourself.
Did you guys watch WandaVision? Are you into that?
We did.
I was about to ask you the same thing when you said Marvel. I was
so now, with WandaVision, do you have to see everything else before you watch that? Because that's what I've heard, that it's kind of incorporates everything, or is it its own thing?
I think if you didn't see anything before, it's fine to just watch.
If you have a general idea of what happened, you should be fine. In the Avengers,
Just watch Infinity War and Endgame back to back, and then
what? Okay.
A lot of 6 hours of movie, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah. WandaVision is probably about just as long as both of those movies. Come to think of it.
They did a really good job of going through all the sitcoms and things like that. you know.
Yeah, that was cool to see.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. It was a little confusing at first. I was like, what's going on here? But,
I thought it was going in a completely different direction.
But once you see it like start to progress, you're like, oh, this is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also I guess if you didn't see anything before, they are kind of introducing her character, kind of like going in depth of her thing. So if you didn't see, I guess, her in any movies before, you know, it's still fine because they are building what her past was and how she gets her powers and things like that. So yeah,
it's so hard to talk about this because you don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah,
for
I don't want to
one
spoil
person out there that's that hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
That hears this and they're like, "Fuck you guys."
Donna says she loves your song, brother.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. I'm sending you kisses.
Yay. Nice. So do you guys think well, I guess you still have to wait to like rehearse and things like that, but are you guys planning on booking shows, just kind of like see what happens and just...
We're starting to look at this, I guess, late spring, summer.
Yeah, like early summer. We're starting to
see what's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think
basically see what's out there. There's not like a whole of a lot out there right now.
We're not planning any tours because at this point you never know what can fall through.
Yeah.
But a Thursday to Sunday, or even just a Saturday to Sunday, or whatever we can do that seems logical, we'll do.
And right now we're still like kind of restricted to the tri-state area because of the travel restrictions and with our day jobs and stuff. They can only really play like New York, New Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania, Connecticut.
That's it.
And that's it.
Yeah. Which normally I'd say, oh, there's tons and tons of venues all there, but now so many have closed down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
it's such a shame. It really.
And even the ones that haven't closed haven't reopened yet. So, and I mean, for good reason, but you don't know when that's going to be. So it makes it so difficult to plan. You don't know what the state of the world is going to be next month, let alone 3 months,
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, nope. You don't want to put anybody at risk.
Is there like a local club by where you guys are that you normally play? Like, is it still holding on, or what's kind of like in your immediate area?
So Dingbats
is
I
open
think
now.
I think they're open and they're doing some shows here and there.
That would be the place closest to us.
Like reduced capacity. So that's
they have an outdoor area?
No.
So across the street they have another bar, and I think they have like a little outdoor like seating area out there. But
maybe that's what I'm thinking of, because I've
not
passed
like
it on the highways and stuff, but I thought it had like an outdoor patio type of thing there.
No, they're indoors, and I think it's like 25% capacity.
Yeah, something like that. They're doing like some stuff over there right now.
Yeah, a lot of venues have yet to open around here. I think they're waiting for higher capacities.
Yeah.
Right, because it doesn't really make sense to.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta hire a sound engineer. You gotta have somebody working in the bar. Gotta have the electricity on, and all that costs money. So.
Yeah, and if they don't have a kitchen either, they're kind of like, what are you gonna do?
They're basically relying on people
it's like,
to get very,
are
very,
we
very
gonna
drunk.
pay to like put on this show, or especially at like 25% capacity?
I mean, it's still, if the city's the city still is just coming back to life, kind of, sort of. I mean, I've had to, I work in the city a lot, and it was kind of weird. Going in like April, May, and seeing New York as a ghost town. I drove right through Times Square.
Whatever that's called.
And there was nobody there. I probably could have parked my car there and just left for the day. It's been crazy there. Like I was able to drive over the GW at like 120, like some kind of psycho. Because and you know my reasoning for it is I'll never be able to do this again. But you know, so why not? And if I die, yeah, what am I missing? But no, but it's just weird because like if the city's any kind of what's the word? Like
Indication?
prediction, of how things are going to be. They're just even the city, which you literally couldn't walk down the street without being fucking shoulder to shoulder with somebody, is just slowly starting to come back alive. Like the traffic's coming back, but the people traffic not necessarily.
Well, so many people have moved out of the city too that they're not even living there anymore.
It's caused bidding wars for property in our areas.
Yeah, like you cannot buy a house, especially in northern New Jersey, because so many people are outbidding each other.
Like a house that was worth $350, $400, normally is now going, 20% over asking. And it's like, whoa, really?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like people are offering $20,000 over the asking price.
Yeah. Just
because they want to move to northern New Jersey, because they no longer have to commute to their office in the city every day.
So. Well, I walk a lot of it. It makes sense because I'm in telecom, so I walk a lot of these big high rises and see a lot of the offices and companies in them, and I haven't seen one full office yet. There's maybe the most I've ever seen in an entire floor is 3-4 people working. And I can just imagine that a lot of these companies are saying we don't need everybody can work from home at this point. We don't need all this, and there's going to be like some kind of commercial realty collapse at the end of this. And that's going to cause another whole issue in the world.
So. You could probably buy like a crazy penthouse in Manhattan dirt cheap now too, because no, everyone's moving out, no one's moving in.
It might be $1 million instead of like $5 million. No.
You're probably right.
Time to invest.
Yep.
Oh man. I just drove through the city the other day for the first time in like over a year. But there's plenty of traffic. Plenty of traffic to go around.
Yeah. No, it was really, I would say the traffic started coming back around probably just the last couple of months.
Yeah, because I was working in the city in July and August, and it was like the apocalypse. And everywhere I was, every building I was in, they were just calendars stuck on March. And I was like,
so crazy.
It was
it was nuts. I mean, there was something kind of awe-inspiring about it at the same time, because you're never going to see this again. It's like it was like a scene straight out of the movies.
And there was also that silver lining of like, oh, it's actually kind of clean. They're sweeping the subways and like mopping the floors.
It's the cleanest
picking up the trash. And you're not like a sardine stuck in between 1 million people. Like you have space to breathe.
Exactly. There was nobody around. It was like everybody got up and left New York. And, there was no traffic anywhere. I was able to get to a site it was close to the South Ferry, and I took the GW, which is 171st Street or whatever that is. Somebody's going to tell me I'm wrong and call me asshole for that. But, I got, we're maybe like, I don't know 10 miles from there. And I got from there down the FDR all the way down to South Street. Maybe 25 minutes
from here to South Street.
From where we live down to South Street, the South Ferry.
Wow.
And it was like I've never going to do that again. That was also one of the times I was driving 110 down the GW, but it's crazy. Never seen anything like it, and I don't think we ever will again. I hope.
Yeah.
It's craziness.
Blue-eyed Matt in the chat would like to know, what are your thoughts on Martians?
On Martians?
Oh, it's too bad.
I hope they come to take us away.
Linda is our Martian expert, Matt.
Oh, Martians!
I think they're here already.
Yeah, they've been living amongst us since the beginning of civilization.
We're in their universe right now.
I mean, Men in Black was a documentary, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think that was one of the movies I watched during it was the Men in Black series because I never saw them.
At the end of this, we're all just going to get zapped with that memory thing.
Oh, can we?
Oh, that would be
please?
great, right?
We all just wake up tomorrow and it's March 10th of 2020 and everything's fine.
Yeah.
And March. Yeah, now it's March. My birthday's March 11th. I had to remember that.
Oh, there's another question in the chat.
Like a prank?
Fast food question.
It was best chicken sandwich. Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, or KFC? I'm gonna go with Popeyes.
Yeah, Popeyes.
Yeah.
I
don't think I've never had Chick-fil-A and I've never had a chicken sandwich from McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's not a fair comparison because I kind of avoid them.
Yeah.
I used to eat they had the Southern style McDonald's chicken sandwich. I don't know, maybe when I was growing up as a teenager or something. And I used to eat that a lot. And I was kind of hooked on that for a while. But
I also hate to
Popeyes
say
is
it
still my
because
favorite
I
chicken.
love Popeyes.
Yeah.
But I kind of living in the area that we live in, whether it's the Jersey side or Long Island or directly in the heart of the city, we're spoiled with so many good places to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And so many places that have their own version of the fried chicken sandwich that you don't ever want to go back to any of the chains because you have your own place to gain 300 pounds at, or one of 75 places that serve one specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before I moved to northern New Jersey, I didn't eat.
Yeah, she met me.
I
and then
didn't
she
enjoy eating. I mean, you eat because you have to, but it's I don't know. There's not really
She
where I
meets
grew up.
me.
There
I'm the
wasn't
wine snob
anywhere
and
to
food
really
snob.
go out to eat except for the chains.
Yeah, there's definitely two types of people.
Where did
I
you
grew up in Central Jersey in South Brunswick.
Okay.
There's nowhere to eat there.
It's pretty much. It's funny because it's not in the middle of nowhere, but it kind of comparatively to our area, it feels like the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not really the middle of nowhere, but
No, that's South Jersey.
There's not much to really do around there, or not many restaurants to go to or anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's a deli in town.
Yeah, I never had Papa John's or Domino's or anything until I came out to Long Island for college. Because I grew up in Staten Island, and we're why would you, and even Long Island too, I'm why would you ever order Papa John's or Domino's or Pizza Hut here?
My college roommates used to order that all the time, and I'm what the fuck is wrong with you? Meaning I'm fucking making chicken parm from scratch or something like that.
But is it the only accessible thing to you?
I guess it was at. I mean, I don't know. I feel I just thought
there's always diners open. There's usually Taco Bell or Burger King open really late, or something else. And I mean, we have some pizza places that are open till 4 a.m. Why?
Good pizza.
And our areas aren't that different. You still have the 24-hour diners, like you said. That seems to be a more of a mystery once you get outside this area. But there's always places to go. I mean, that's why some of these junk food places just seem like they don't even exist, because why would you do that?
No.
I could never understand eating Domino's. It just disgusted me.
I used to eat Domino's all the time because we didn't have anything else to eat, really. And the diner we had.
Yeah, but that's the thing. By you, that's the
diner
funny thing.
we had, people got food poisoning at. So
once you get out of this general North Jersey, the city, Long Island, and even Westchester and all those counties around there, you're pretty much in a different world. Every time we go on tour, we're you guys want to shoot off fireworks because that's all there is to do around here.
But you can do it though.
Yeah, but you can do it. Yeah, sure. But that's the only thing to do.
Yeah.
But that's our favorite pastime on tour.
Waffle House.
We miss exactly. We go to Waffle House and we shoot fireworks and wherever the hell we're staying.
Yeah. Now this is interesting. Grumpy just wrote in the chat. Sometimes you get used to a particular type of crappy food and you love it even though it's bad. So Tino's cheap frozen pizza, for example. Now, I have to say, when it comes to pizza, even pizza rolls or bagel bites are so much better than Domino's.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, they are.
Have real pizza?
That's not
bagel
a. It's
bites.
not a.
Like, no dumb.
I mean, you have to put Domino's like down here, and even like the shit that you buy from the frozen food aisle is still
It's still better.
a bit over it. Yeah.
I don't know. They're cinnamon sticks though. Those are really good.
See,
I mean,
that's
you put
different.
sugar
If you're gonna
on
get
anything,
sides and stuff, yeah. But the
Yeah.
actual pizza,
Ugh. Seriously though, if anybody in this chat hasn't had White Castle because they're not in the area, we highly suggest you come and hang out and have some White Castle.
I've actually never had it.
Matthew Hill,
Really?
have you had White Castle?
I don't think I've had it since I'm like 6 years old. I thought it was gross and never had it again.
Really?
I've never had it in my life.
I think there
It's
was
one of those
one on
things.
Staten Island, and it was just gross.
It's one of those
It's
things
so
that
bad,
it's
but
like
it's so
it's
good.
bad the first couple you have, and then you're like, this is like I think I just did a couple bumps of cocaine because I can't keep it's just you just systematically keep shoving them back.
I don't know. I was like hooked on White Castle since I was 4 years old. And my parents adopted a dog, and they thought it would be a good idea to feed the dog White Castle, and then he had diarrhea everywhere.
It's not that different than eating White Castle as a human being, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that no matter
So
I'm sick for like 2 days after eating it, but it still
That's
does
worth it.
not stop me from going there. Granted, I only allow myself a couple times a year, but still, maybe it's been a little bit more with the pandemic.
Yeah, pandemic has definitely made me eat healthier. So I've been cooking a lot more at home instead of eating out.
That's great. That's awesome.
I just got a sous
envy
vide. I
you.
can't recommend that highly enough if you're looking to like cook things or like
Mhm.
meats and vegetables, and it's amazing.
I
I got a sous vide, like the thing that you put in the water bath, and you vacuum seal the food with the seasonings and whatever else you're putting in it, and you
Yes.
cook it in the water for like 4 hours.
So if you vacuum seal the food and you just get like a separate water bath and bring it up to whatever temperature the food's supposed to
This
be.
Yeah,
sounds
you get
very
different
scientific.
temperatures.
I don't know if I can.
It kind of is, but you literally can't screw anything
But-
up, and it's
But
great.
you can find like how to cook everything online, which is a great thing.
Annie, maybe that should be your next experiment. Annie's been dealing with the air fryer.
It's a
Yeah, we have one of those.
I haven't tried the air fryer yet.
It's
though.
not bad.
Yeah,
I'm getting
we have
better
it.
at it, but I broke the one I was getting good at, and now we got a new one, so I have to like relearn another appliance.
Oh, you didn't get the same kind?
No, we got a more
Oh.
advanced one.
Oh.
So
Oh, fancy.
yeah,
We got one of those. What is it? The Ninja. It's like a grill, air fryer, and dehydrator in one, I think.
Yeah, we tried making banana chips in it, and it just came out like banana jerky.
So did
Well,
she.
look-
oh, mine came out like mushy banana, disgusting smushes.
I think I had it. I think I
Yeah.
had it dehydrating for like 8-9 hours, and I'm like, it could have easily got another few hours in there.
We tried to put blueberries in. That took 2 days. They still weren't that great.
It's like you have to have it like sliced like paper thin.
Well, the problem is, it's like we had the whole thing, all the trays for the banana things, the jerky or whatever the hell I made, and then it takes hours. It takes you so long to actually cut it up and prepare it and place everything, and then it takes another 10 hours in the damn dehydrator, and then you eat it in 30 seconds. I mean, maybe that's just because I'm
But it
fat,
was
but
worth
you know.
hmm
I just stick with the good old stove, oven, toaster.
I've been doing better with not using my microwave that as much because I was a major microwave person. Like,
Yeah, the microwave's evil.
so I've been
It-
trying
it's
to
true.
cook, at least not with that.
The microwave's kind of
It's
like
a step in the
junky.
right
It
direction.
tempts you to use it, but you shouldn't be doing it all the time.
He
Yeah.
yells at me when I try to cook friggin' frozen vegetables in the microwave.
I know
Like,
it's so
"Why?
much easier.
Just 5 minutes.
Yeah. I'm like,
And it tastes
5
like
minutes
cardboard.
versus 25. I'm
Yeah,
like,
microwave's good for like you just want something quick, frozen dinner or like reheat some leftovers. But if you're gonna really cook, like
I'm just like, oh, I'm hungry.
Sure,
I'm
yeah.
hungry right now. Let me eat now.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why I cook for tomorrow while I eat what I made for myself yesterday. Now.
Oh boy.
There you go.
You gotta be always like one day ahead with the cooking. So as soon as you're hungry, you just take it out of the fridge and reheat it.
Well, that's the problem. I
prep.
never make it to the next day. It's there for me.
That's too much advanced work for me right now.
Annie, like I'll send a picture and Annie's always like, "Why are you making so much food?" I'm like, "It's not all for now. I'm gonna be hungry tomorrow and I'm not gonna feel like cooking again."
See, I wish I had that discipline. I wish I
had the discipline to food prep because in theory that makes a lot of sense, but I'm like, it seems like it'll take a long time. So
Exactly.
It's like it'll take an extra hour this one night, but save 4 hours the rest of the week. But
See, that's the good thing with the oven. See, microwave, it depends like how much food you put in. With the oven, you can put the same amount of food and it takes the same amount, like more food and the same amount of time to cook.
Yeah.
So whether you throw like one tray of food in there or like 6, same amount of time.
Ideally, that's what I want to do.
If you have a good oven.
Yeah, our oven sucks. That's what I want to do with the sous vide, because you could literally vacuum seal, portions of whatever you want to have, and then just throw them all in there, or just throw them in the fridge and they last longer because they're vacuum sealed.
Mm-hmm.
So
you could just throw fucking chicken in there and leave it for like 2-3 hours.
Anywhere up to 12 hours. It really depends on the temperature. Yeah. But it's kind of like a slow cooker without being a slow cooker. If that makes sense.
Oh my god, it makes chicken like perfectly. Just
it makes steak perfectly too.
It's so weird. Like it's just water.
Yeah, well, it's basically it's a
might as well just throw it in the
device
bathtub.
that you put at a certain temperature, and it just circulates the water in this plastic bath or a pot or whatever you're using. So it just slowly cooks something over a period of however long you're supposed to do it for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of this crazy thing. Like you said, it's scientific, but it's really cool at the same time. Like you take the meat out of the bag when you're done, and it looks all gray and sickly. And then you'll just sear it. Yeah, I know. But you sear it for like 30 seconds on each side, and then it looks like something you got in a restaurant. And
it tastes like it too.
Yeah.
See, now you said cooking them in the bathtub, and I'm just picturing a whole bunch of floating pouches in the bathtub, and I just can't get that image out of my head.
I actually have a shelf inside the water bath that I tuck them into. But it's kind of like that. They have to be submerged, but yeah.
What a weird. Who thought of this?
What's for dinner tonight? I don't know.
Go
check in the bathroom.
I saw that one guy who cooked a lasagna in his dishwasher.
Yeah, that's weird.
That was weird.
I would try that, but I don't have one. We are going to wrap this up here in a few minutes. So do you guys have any last minute things you want to plug or anything like that?
Yeah, well,
plug your bathtub.
Thank you guys for having us here. We had a lot of fun.
And Matt, I've had Crystal. I do like them, but they pale in comparison to White Castle, even though they look identical.
I definitely do want to try them.
And yes, Harold and Kumar was a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever come up this way, man, there's plenty around here. Be happy to take you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
Mel, you got any other questions?
Yeah, sure. You can always come up with questions. So we like to put everyone on the spot at the end, and we'd ask you to please leave off with something positive for everyone in the chat. What is a word of advice you can give to everyone to stay positive in these crazy times?
We're all going to die and life is meaningless.
Oh. All right. Thank you. Great talking to you guys. Have a great night.
Cut off.
And chill.
Is that how you'd like to end it? We could.
No.
Is that your final answer?
Is that your final answer?
Even in your darkest days, when things don't ever seem like they will get better again, I hate to use the term, so it's so cliche, but there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Mm-hmm. As a 3-time suicide survivor, losing some of the people closest to me, there were times where I did not feel that there was any point in going on. I'm still here, still pushing through, still finding a way to outlet those feelings, whether to my wife or to a friend or to a complete and total stranger I just met. you'd be surprised when you reach out how willing people are to listen. But sometimes it takes that, like, you know, everybody's so terrified to reach out sometimes, and it takes that brave first step. And sometimes, you know, people can be shitty, but sometimes you never know. I've had a lot of great surprises in my lifetime, and I'm still here to tell about it. And, you know, all the people that I've lost hold a very dear place in my heart and in my mind, and I'll always think about them and I'll always miss them. But there's, you know, you have to realize that you need to move on with your life, and just because theirs might be over, there's still the future that you have that is a complete blank, and you have a very big part in painting that future. So if that's positive, sure.
Yeah.
If it's just a bunch of drivel, maybe. But
we're so glad that we're so glad that you're still with us, and
thank you.
So happy to have you guys on here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. I hope we
you're always capable of more than you know.
This is true.
Positivity.
Little cliche, but it's true.
We'll add
virtual hugs and kisses to all of you and to everyone in the chat.
Yes.
Stay safe, stay healthy, stay positive.
Yes, hopefully we see you soon and get to play a show with you guys soon.
Yeah, we'll have to set something up.
We'll definitely.
I don't think we've
seen together soon.
I'll just leave it. I don't think we've seen each other since like the room in Connecticut. Like
yeah.
I miss that place.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes. Good night. Thank you guys too in the chat
so
for
much.
joining us.
Yes.
Hi, guys.
Thanks to everyone who joined us. Thank you for having us. We love you all. Good night.
Hugs and kisses.